Hi everyone, in today's video we're going to talk about turning failure into success. We're going to give you 5 simple keys to help you go from feeling like a zero to a hero. Make sure you stay tuned to the end because the last one is my favorite. To give a little context to what we're going to be talking about, I wanted you to think about when children start walking. They have to move from the crawling stage to the standing stage to the assistant stage, and then they are walking on their own. These are important steps that we've all experienced in our life, either by ourselves, which we obviously don't remember, or we've seen in other kids. So make sure that you kind of have that as a frame point as we go through these easy steps. The first thing I want to talk about is that failure is a stepping stone. It's not a dead end. This is an important construct to bring into your life when you're doing new tasks. Just like that baby, the very first time that it tried to stand up on its own and it fell down, the baby just didn't sit there and say, that's it, I'm done, never trying this again. They had the ability to understand that it is just a small hiccup in the road towards successfully walking on their own. This brings us to our second step. Perseverance is key. When we think about that child that just fell down and has the ability to stand up and continue to try to move forward because they have the drive to want to learn how to walk, we can take a lot from that in our own lives. Is when we do hit failures and we understand that if we persevere through it and find another option to change how we're doing things, that the failure will actually get us to the next step. But we have to be able to have the fortitude to keep going forward. Success often requires a lot of setbacks to start learning and mapping out what actually is going to lead you to the point where you're doing really well. If you don't have these failures, you will not be able to see what you have to do next to become successful. So remember, keep persevering to the end so you start achieving your goal. Before we get to our third point, why don't you give us a like and subscribe to the channel. Now, adaptability and learning from mistakes helps us be able to continue to map forward to becoming successful from our failures. When you think about that baby that we've been talking about, when they fall down, they're constantly trying to assess the situation around them, to adapt, to be able to get their legs, to be able to put up their weight around them. They are sensing and learning from the things that have already happened to what they have to do to change. Being able to adapt and be flexible as you're moving towards success by learning from your failures is a key component to be able to become successful in all that you do. So remember, when you make a mistake or something feels like you're absolutely failing, what can you do to change what's happening to make it more successful? Our fourth point is that failure builds resilience. Resilience is an important part of our ability to continue to go forward. Resilience makes us emotionally strong and tough to be able to pursue the outcome of what we're trying to do. That baby, when they're learning how to walk, they start learning resilience of overcoming the challenge that they're not being successful, what they're seeing everyone around them doing. But they keep pressing forward. And this is a very strong thing to do to help build the character that you need and the fortitude to understand just because your project is not being successful, it doesn't mean that you're not successful. So adopting that resilience by pushing forward and adapting and just getting to the point where you're okay that you have made a mistake is a key component to help you get to the end goal of being successful in your life. Here we are at the end, step 5. And step 5 is failure leads to innovation and creativity. This is really important. If you followed those 4 steps above and you're using it in situations to continue to move forward, you will start seeing that because of what you've learned, you now have the ability to think outside the box. You will start seeing solutions to problems that people don't even have the ability to do because they just get stuck in this failure mode. It didn't work, so I can't do it. This didn't happen, so it will never work. But if you have built up the resilience and the adaptability and have the ability to be persevering through things, you will start seeing things from different angles that others can't. That creativity helps you understand that failure just means you're looking at a way to improve the situation or the circumstance. This creativity should be embraced because when you utilize this in your life, you will be able to move every failure that you will come across into success because you have picked up these 5 easy steps to use in your life. And think back to that little baby. Not once did they ever sit down and say, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not trying anymore. I'm going to give up. They had an internal drive to be able to get up and start walking. And somewhere along our journey, we started worrying about what other people think, which helps us embrace an idea of failure. But if you take these steps, you'll be able to push that out and see that making mistakes or failing is actually what will propel you to being successful and the best version of yourself. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.